around the island, and then over there you got the other flow, haven't you?
Yeah.
Like two. You're an idiot.
Or, for instance, we.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Oh, it is.
It is afternoon.
Yeah, I get confused.
We've had our lunch.
As
So
you can see,
we thought we would film, or we'd start this video on the stern of our boat to give you the illusion as if we're cruising when we're not. So this year weather has been tragic.
It hasn't been good.
It hasn't stopped raining. We went to see our friends on the Thames, and the Thames is in flood.
Man, that
it was flowing so fast. We're not too bad here. We're quite protected here on the Canal at Newbury Marina.
Well, we're on the island in the middle.
We are, yeah.
So we're on the dead bit that goes to the lock, but then over there you've got the flow around the island, and then over there you got the other flow, haven't you?
Yeah.
Like two massive channels, and that is roaring down there, and we're just sat in the middle like,
Yeah.
yay.
Okay, so we
we'll
can't go
stay
anywhere.
here. Yeah.
But so obviously one of the main reasons that we came to the Kennet and Avon was cost. If we're
Yeah, it
honest.
was. Yeah, it was. Let's get down there, save some money,
Yeah.
a new adventure,
Yeah.
and it has been.
So we thought as of that, it has been that.
We haven't
We
saved
thought
money.
we'd evaluate the costs between, obviously we only know the River Thames, there are lots more rivers and there are lots more canals, but we thought we'd give a general overview of the cost of river versus canal,
Of what we found.
of what we found out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, here we go. So, probably the biggest outlay, if you want to be marina based, is the Marina Fees.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, if we're honest, that was our reason for moving at the time because of circumstance. So, on the Thames, you can pay probably, or expect to pay anywhere between 8 and 12,000 a year.
Yeah. Some of them are actually a bit more than that.
Yeah.
Over 12,000. Yeah, over 1,000 a month.
Yeah.
I know of certain few that are charging now more than that.
Yeah. I mean, then it becomes comparable to rent then, doesn't it?
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the canal, for us, on the K&A, anywhere between £3,000 to £5,000
A year.
a year. Yeah. So you can see straight off
50%.
a big reduction in price.
Yeah.
And also it does seem to be, well, in our experience, slightly more broken down in payments as well. So for instance, we pay quarterly here, which again is a bit more manageable.
But you can pay monthly.
You can pay monthly,
You
yeah.
pay weekly, monthly, however you want. Whereas what I found is on the Thames, it's 6 months.
Yeah,
6
yes.
months or a year
Yeah.
in
Which
advance.
is a big chunk of change to find.
Might hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially these days. Yeah.
So yeah, obviously cost of living and all of that. At the moment, Canal is definitely the
It's a
cheaper
cheaper place to
option.
keep your boat.
Yeah,
And facility-wise, you've got everything.
yeah.
So we're not down on facilities
No,
that we had
not
on the
at all.
Thames at
No,
all.
no.
And we've got everything. It's all plugged in. It's tap.
Yeah,
It's there.
yeah. So no different in that aspect in, you know, what you get basically. And for us
Even
actually,
security.
yeah,
Yeah,
security
security's the
cameras,
same.
gated.
You're on the same level as anywhere else.
Yeah.
So
That's
big
definitely a
saving.
bonus. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, now this is the hot topic at the
seems to
moment.
be,
It
doesn't
is
it?
the hot topic.
I don't think anyone's going to
definitely.
pay it. Just don't pay it.
Yeah, in every discussion group, forum and everything is licensing, massive
Yeah.
hot topic. So when we came onto the canal, it was sort of basically comparable really. It wasn't really any
No, it didn't.
difference really from the cost of a Thames licence, which we had before, we then went to a gold licence, and there wasn't a huge difference.
£100 more, maybe.
Around about £1,500-ish.
Not a lot. Yeah.
That said, like we've said in a previous vlog when we looked at the cost of owning a wide beam, they don't cover National Trust rivers. So for instance, neither of those do. So the River Wey, which we've travelled down before, you have to pay a licence fee on entering.
It's
owned by,
isn't it?
owned by National Trust. So that's sort of
we won't worry about that.
not in the equation anyway. But obviously now the hot topic is that the CRT are putting up licence fees. Lots of people have said lots of different things about how much this will be, and I read something that somebody thought that in compound terms over a certain amount of years it equated to 34% or something.
It was 50%.
Was it 50?
Over 5 years.
Yeah.
Apparently. Yeah, that's I think what it worked out.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, well, that was over 3 years of 34, I think.
Right, yeah.
But actually, we don't really know. What we do know is there's now going to be a surcharge if you're a wide beam.
So you'll pay more.
So you will pay more. And also a surcharge if you're a continuous cruiser. So you'll also pay more. Now, what you think of that, everybody's got their own opinion.
Well, I won't put mine out.
No.
Okay.
We're going to for that one.
Yeah.
But our problem is you can't actually find out how much that is going to be at the moment. It seems to...
Well, I logged on to my CRT account this morning
to
get the licence cost for next year to buy the gold licence, and it went, we haven't got a price for you at the moment.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Not very helpful.
Well, you haven't made your minds up yet.
Is that because
or
there's
the lottery
so many
numbers aren't going around?
Or we have absolutely no idea.
So I can't tell you what next year's is going to be.
No, we can't be helpful with that. I know there's lots of speculation, but what it's going to be, who knows?
No, well, yeah, I don't know yet.
No.
Which is a bit silly, isn't it?
I mean, what we do know is being on a canal in terms of like it being like navigating the canal, if they are going to charge us more, it would be really nice if perhaps it was a bit more maintained in some areas.
If you're on a wide beam canal and you're now paying a surcharge for owning a wide beam, make wide beams be able to fit down it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
And then if I damage my boat on a big bush hanging out because we can't get past, are they going to pay for it like the council do with a pothole?
There's gonna be comments and many now.
There will be on that one.
There will be.
Yeah, because I'm going to put in a big bill.
The problem is though, actually though, to then flip it on the other side as well, because we did have a comment on one of our videos saying about what's going on, are they not maintained? There is some of that, but also some of the areas that are really overgrown are privately owned.
You'll find, one of the banks is CRT and the other one's private. The private side is always way overgrown, isn't it?
Yeah.
Massively. Half the canal missing we've seen, haven't we? Because the private side going to a field, the farmer don't care.
No, so I mean the
they
CRT, in fairness to them, can't do anything about that, I guess. So
well, they could do, but then they think, well, why should we?
Well, yeah.
That's the problem. They could go along with a boat and trim it all down.
Are they allowed to though?
Well, it's over your side, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
I don't know.
Don't know. Again, that's probably going to spark some more comments.
Yeah, I'm in trouble now, as always.
So, at the moment, we have no idea what we're going to pay for a licence, but we know it's going to be more.
But then again, I bet the Thames licence is going to go up a little bit anyway.
Yeah.
So they'll put theirs up by 10%, this lot will put theirs up by 10%, and we all end up paying it.
Yeah. There you go. Have you noticed we're mixing it up each scene? Fuel costs. And also we've got obviously the fireplace in the background. Well, sort of in the background. And it's fuel costs.
We haven't put that on yet.
Anyway, fuel costs. Not much difference in things like wood and coal, etc.
Price-wise, no.
No. Diesel, however, is cheaper.
Yeah, we found diesel
canal.
a bit cheaper.
Yeah. And did you say you can get it for £1 a litre in some places?
Yeah, I
along the
think a bit
canal?
further up north, I think they're about £1 a litre.
Yeah.
It's around 110, 120 around this area.
Yeah, and it was around 160 on the Thames.
Yeah, I think there is a cheaper place on the Thames now, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure on today's price. But
No.
it's definitely a little bit cheaper on the canal side of things and easier to get hold of.
Yeah, more accessible. Like Richard was saying, when we were on the Thames, if we wanted to get logs or coal, we had to go to like a garden centre or
We had to go out in the car and
B&Q
source
or
it.
whatever. Yeah.
Marinas don't really sell it.
No.
Which is weird.
No.
They don't like it in the marinas.
No, well, I suppose because they have a lot of like cruisers and stuff
Yeah,
like
they'll
that. Whereas
moan.
you find on the canal, the little chandleries are actually catering for canal boats. So
Yeah,
they
I
will
suppose that's
do
where
your
the
wood, they
difference
will
is,
do your
yeah.
coal, they do things like
They don't want it in the marina though.
chimneys, don't they? Yeah.
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 I was saying back onto the Thames, they didn't want that in the marina
No,
because all the
not
people
really.
sitting on their white boats would moan about the smell.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas on the canal, it's
Yeah,
it's just
it's the
normal.
norm. Yeah, so
it's
it's
how it
definitely
is.
more accessible. It's easier to get. You know, we just walk down there if you want to get some.
I could
so.
just phone him and we'd come back next weekend and it'll be on the front of the boat.
Yeah. So and also fuel boats.
We've seen quite a few
Yeah.
fuel boats, coal boats, all going up and down through our travels, haven't
Yeah,
we? So
yeah.
there are quite a few of those, you know, up and down here. Whereas on the Thames, we knew of two.
Yeah.
One of them, he might turn up.
Yeah.
He might not be working that month. The other one only just started when we were leaving though, didn't he? So
Yeah,
we didn't really
yeah.
have much experience with that.
No. In fairness, yeah.
Otherwise you had to go right into a marina really.
Yeah.
And that's really difficult. If the weather's bad, you don't want to go in there.
No.
Not in a boat like this. Whereas on the canal,
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's quite
definitely
easy.
a bit cheaper and definitely more accessible. So, final thing? Boat maintenance.
think so, yeah.
boat maintenance. So, just like from experience, for instance, when we had our bow thruster fixed,
yeah.
eventually,
Yeah, months.
we won't go into that.
No.
Trying to find somewhere to take our boat out that wasn't going to cost a fortune was quite tricky on the Thames. Now,
It
you can
was.
obviously pay for craneage, but you do
Yeah.
have to find a crane that can lift a wide beam.
Yeah.
There's one in Reading.
It's two in Reading.
There are two in Reading.
Two in Reading.
Yeah,
We heard that there's another one down near Shepperton that would pull us out.
yeah,
So you go up the train tracks. But I think that was just about on the limit
yeah.
with our weight wise to
Yeah.
go up that. But it's cost.
Yeah, craneage is quite expensive.
Yeah, anywhere from I think it was £700 to £1,200 to take it out,
And then,
and then you got to pay that
in
again to go back in.
Yeah.
And then every second it's out, you're paying for dry dock storage.
Yeah. Whereas here on the canal, there are more dry docks.
There seems to be a few
Yeah.
that we can get
There's
to.
one literally just up there from us.
There is, yeah.
Which is really
Down there
handy.
we actually go and watch it sometimes.
Which you just basically drive into, and then it's like a lock, isn't it? The water
Shut the
comes
gates,
out.
pump
yeah.
it out.
And then you can access your boat, which is cheaper, I believe, as well.
Well, it is. There's
Yeah.
no real health and safety issues swinging a boat around.
No.
There's no weather constraints, so it's
No.
not, oh, it's too windy, we can't take your boat out today.
No, that's right.
So it's a lot easier.
So
Just
for
drive
like
it in.
maintaining your boat in that way, so like if we needed blacking or, for instance,
The propeller.
we've damaged the propeller.
We didn't damage it.
Yeah, but stuff like that.
The CRT. We're going to blame them, shall we? We hit a pothole.
Then that's more accessible and cheaper.
Yeah.
On the flip side to the boat maintenance is we've done our boat in
We've done it in. We haven't done it in.
since we've been on the canal. Well, we need to obviously replace our window frame. We still haven't done that.
Yeah, that's a job we need
And
to get
we
on with.
are going to have to get our propeller fixed as well.
We've either got to take that off, and then I've got a very fast car journey up north or down to the south coast.
Yeah.
to give it to someone to try and heat it, straighten it, and reshape it so that it's good, and then put it back on.
Yeah. So yeah, you might end up with having to do a bit more maintenance if you're on the canal in
If
a
you've got a wide beam,
because of the width restrictions and the trees and the
everything else.
chomping things that you go over. I mean, it's not that there isn't stuff in the river, because we've seen stuff in the river, but I suppose it's so much deeper that your propeller doesn't chomp it.
Yeah,
If you chuck a shopping trolley in the Thames,
yeah, it's just
then
in there, isn't it?
you're not going to reach that. You chuck it, well, literally by our boat here, I'll show you some footage.
It's about that deep at the front.
we drive in and we hit the bottom, so it's shallow.
Just, yeah,
Yeah.
hovering over the silt.
Indeed. So, to conclude, if you are on a budget, it's definitely cheaper to be on a canal
100%,
than a
yeah,
river. Yeah.
You do save money.
Yeah.
You can save money.
Yeah. However, it is just a completely different experience.
Massively.
Yeah.
The difference, I don't know what it is. Yeah, down on the river, you just feel part of something, don't you?
Well, we're not going to say too much more, because
No,
obviously
that's cool
because this time of year, not being able to cruise, obviously the video, material is of shortage.
I was going to do cooking.
Oh dear. So we
cook
are going to
all the
bring you the differences in another video. And we'll see you next time. Bye!